Even if you lose, give them a couple good shots, do your best, whatever, right?
Well, if a child's being abused, if there's something going on in the world, if the Putin is invading a regular old country, and if you look at any of the videos of Ukraine, which I did in the 90s and so forth, this is like any city. I mean, it's just a bunch of people looking in their iPhone, and they look very Western. It's a bunch of people in the city part. It totally looks like any major metropolis in America. And the
So
people are dressed like us and everything. So if somebody's coming and killing all those people, my definition is wrong. So you're going to have to fight that person.
yeah. So when you stand your ground, is that like step 7? Is that sort of a stand your ground in your new way after you
Step
have your
7 is all of the stuff happens within the spaciousness and timelessness. Step 7 is you've done your work of seeing where the conflict is between you and other people, which is deep seated in yourself. You've done the work of slowing down. You've done the work of accepting a real teacher, a real master of life with an authentic lineage, and you surrendered to that. You've done the work of gathering gravity, rooting down. You've done the work of blooming, making your presence spacious to do with your relationships and your circumstances so that you have a bird's eye view, a mountaintop view. Step 7, or step 6, pardon me. Step 6 is then your pre-process. You apply grounding to where it's needed. You apply neutrality to where it's needed. You apply positivity where it's needed. In your mind, you do that with your job and your relationship. That's how a genius does things. They do it here first. So the workshop of the imagination creates physical reality. Then when the person comes home or you go to work or whatever, you have this new dynamism that automates. You don't think anymore. Step 7 is the establishment of no thinking, of just sweeping the floor, I call it. In other words, engage the person, most importantly, your relationships, and engage the work. And you just do this service aspect to yourself and other people automatically. You develop an intuitive sense and you engage it from the established presence of spaciousness and timelessness. So the world should be like an observation. All the work should take place in secret within yourself. When you go to the meeting or you go to the interaction or you go to the work, you should already have that understood. And you should also understand that you're going to fail plenty, that you're not going to keep up, that you're going to freeze, that all kinds of stuff's going to happen. But you should be prepared to take action again. And those actions are threefold, just like a battery: negative, neutral, positive, with to yourself and to others.
So there's no escaping that. So we need to accept that we're going to make a mistake, and then when we make a mistake, we accept that that's part of grace and that that's part of the process, and we just.
The Bible says mercy triumphs over justice. So the Bible is a great teaching about justification. So it says we're justified by grace, and no person is justified by the law. So you don't have critical analysis to weigh your acceptance or not. You breathe, you get rain, you get sun, you get magnetism, you get a pulse, you're accepted. From that, the animation to make things better occurs. If you do it the other way around, which is what everybody does, outside in, I'm going to do better to feel better, you're lost.
So that's grasping.
What you think or what science you present, you're wrong. Emotions are more important than intellect, as all university studies say. So you've got to accept yourself that this is a process. You're not like going to be perfect or anything. Then great criticism can happen to you and you can utilize it because it just shows you where you're weak. So there's nothing wrong with it anymore. But your own belief to yourself is not, I'm going to figure that out. That just stop that and let the whole world go with that method, because they're all headed for trouble.
So that's like what you're describing is like the development of inner strength.
Yeah. The Tao Te Ching says the enlightened person empties people's minds, meaning giving peace of mind to their minds, and fills their belly. In other words, get the atmosphere, the change of atmosphere within and around your body, like a beautiful scene in nature, and bathe in that non-cognitively. Make that your source for neurological change, for behavioral change, not the actions that make the change. You have to address the inner self, not,
So it's more about a state of being. So I observe, and I observe like basically how am I being? So I observe my thoughts, observe my breath, am I connected to the earth? So that
Mhm.
becomes more of a priority than this other stuff.
absolutely has to be. And people can't understand that. Again, not my mistake. When you have connectivity of power, connectivity is empowerment. Connectivity can't happen by being in fearful clinging and trying to solve it through labeling with the brain. You have to feel your biological reality of life. And in doing that, you have connectivity because you're no longer stuck in fearful clinging or mental obsession. That power then allows you to change thoughts and behavior, but not the other way around. It's not the other way around. The other way around is management, is a necessity, is a catalyst. But if the catalyst of an enforced behavioral change doesn't improve awareness, then it's going to run out. It won't last through time. You have to realize being, you're a human being, not a human doing. You don't have to worry about thought. You don't have to worry about action. You don't have to worry about anything. That's the truth of all religious scriptures of all enlightened people, is love and happiness and grace and things like that. That's what's primary. And when you have that kind of happiness, whether it's for a second or a lifetime, your power of creation and destruction in yourself and with others, it skyrockets. Because the greater your sense of spaciousness and timelessness, the greater your processing speed.
See, I fall into a